Hashu prayer. Then we have the Duha prayer in the morning.
That's your first prayer.
After Fajr prayer. It's like half an hour after the Fajr prayer. You can make the Duha prayer up to 12 rakats. So Muslims are constantly praying, constantly around the clock.
So I'm trying to explain to this supererogatory prayers or the mandated ones.
The Fard prayers are the mandatory.
Okay, you got the
Fard
Fard
is
and then the
mandatory.
supererogatory.
You have to say no matter what. But the supererogatory prayers, if you want to get extra benefit, it's better for you to do that. Because one of the hadiths was that one of the companions had a dream, and all the other companions were riding horses. They were riding real fast. He was riding his horse, but his horse was going real slow. And he's trying to catch up to him, and they was going zooming all over the place. So when he told the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, about the dream, the Messenger of Allah said, "Do you say your Tahashu prayer?" He said, "Yeah, and have it negligent about saying the Tahashu prayer." Because when you say the extra prayers, it makes you move faster.
Give him a little bit more juice.
Yeah. More
Now,
power, you know.
Now, that first prayer is at 5 o'clock. I was always told the first prayer is at 5 in the morning.
Changes.
You have to go by the lunar cycle.
Depending upon where you live on the planet.
Yeah. So what you do is you get on IslamicFinder.com, and it shows you all the prayer times.
Okay. But it's usually, that first one is usually in the morning.
Before the sunrise.
Before the sunrise. So, okay. A lot of times the sunrise, so the sunrise at different times depending upon your
So
location.
what he said was the IslamicFinder.org. And you see it has the prayer times, but this is the wrong location. We want the location of we're in Morgantown, right? So it says get my location. And that's where we are. It says Monongalia. What is that?
Monongalia County.
That's where we are.
Right.
So Fajr, according to this calendar, Walaikum Salam, is at 6:24 a.m. here.
Right.
Now in Jersey it would be 5.
Right.
But just like you said, according to depending on where you are, that's the time. It says 6:24.
Yeah.
Well, that might be the end of that might be the sunrise.
No, sunrise is at 7:55. Fajr is at 6:24. That's what it says.
Yeah, I see what it
According
said.
to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But it's supposed to be when the sun rises, you're supposed to do that first prayer.
Before the sun comes up.
Before the first
When the
sun.
sun rises, if you miss it, you wait 30 minutes and then you go up.
Okay.
That's why it's so important. Listen, that's why it's so important to read. You have to study your deen. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I mean, the information that he's giving you is valid, but you have to study for yourself because you and you alone will be held accountable. You're not going to be held accountable for what he taught you.
Right.
You know what I mean? He'll be held accountable for what he's telling you if it ain't the truth. But you, as an individual, because you're going to stand before Allah by yourself. He ain't going to be up there with you.
Right.
So if you accept this deen, you have to learn what you're supposed to learn and draw near to your Lord and get the full benefit of accepting the deen. You know what I'm talking about? So you have to read, you have to study, you have to worship Allah like you're supposed to worship Allah and do everything to make sure your Lord is pleased with you. You can't be half-stepping.
All right.
You know, ain't none of us perfect. We do a little bit at a time. You know, we can't take off more than we bite off more than we chew. Allah is merciful. But it's your responsibility according to the Lord to do things to make sure Allah is pleased with you. And it's your duty to find out as a Muslim what pleases Allah. That's what you're supposed to do. And we're supposed to enjoin the good and forbid the evil. We're supposed to make sure we're doing things that our Lord is pleased with. And the Prophet ﷺ teaches us that. Peace and blessings upon him. That's what I mean when I say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In Arabic, it means peace and blessings of Allah be upon the Prophet. The Prophet leads us to Sunnah and the Quran. And we have to adhere as best we could to the Quran and to the Sunnah that the Prophet peace and blessings upon left us.
Okay.
That we're good. But if we consider ourselves to be Muslims, then we're supposed to adhere to what the Prophet left us to the Quran.
Okay.
Reveal to that Prophet.
Question about Muhammad's life. I think that the teachers at here in Mon County have told my children, because they got a Muslim name, Shabazz, that's a Muslim name. I think that they've tried to turn my children against Islam, I think they might have told my oldest daughter that Prophet Muhammad liked little girls. You know, sometimes they try to dirty him up, right?
Yeah.
By saying that one of his wives was a teenage girl.
Aisha, peace must be upon her. He
Right.
didn't marry her because he was attracted to her sexually. He was married her to her deen. She was a righteous woman, and she was lied on.
Right.
People that lied on us, cursed.
Okay, now you
Also,
say
you have to take into consideration that in Saudi Arabian culture, as much as they wanted to speak bad about the rest of Islam, that was their culture. You know, women became, you know, at puberty, that's when you become a woman.
right.
You had queens of Egypt that ran countries.
Because life expectancy was short sometimes. People got married young, you know, 13, 12, whatever. You know, they were considered to be a man. Young.
Well, it has to be placed in proper perspective because
You have to look at the culture.
I talked to my daughter about that, and I felt like they was trying to take advantage of that and put a twisted perspective on it, try to draw Prophet Muhammad as being sometime doing
They
what
wouldn't be the first one. They wouldn't be the first one.
doing what Americans would do.
They wouldn't be the first one.
Well, look at what you know, Hillary Clinton and all them other pedophiles are doing. They having sex with 2-year-olds, killing them, things like that.
They're training from. But let me just back on that. You know,
How old was
Away
Aisha?
from that. Aisha, peace of blessing be upon her.
'Cause we got different-
14 or 15.
Because we got
Might
different.
have been younger.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it's so important to study. You have to study for yourself and get the correct and proper information. People gonna try to dirty up Islam. They're gonna try to filthy it up. You know what I mean? They did that to all the prophets.
Right.
You know, they lied and said one of the prophets slept with his 2 daughters, committed incest.
You ain't talking about a lot, are you?
No, it wasn't lied. It was and I don't want to say it if I'm not sure, but it was one of the prophets.
Okay.
Might have been Luke.
They lied on Noah.
Right.
No.
What is that interpretation?
They said he slept with his daughters, but what I'm trying to explain to you is Mary. May Allah's peace and blessing be upon her. Miriam, Jesus' mother, peace and blessing be upon them both. How old was she when he had Isa? When she had Jesus? She was like 13 or 14 years old. She didn't have sex though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, but she was that age when Allah saw fit to impregnate her, be it an angel, Jibril, peace and blessing be upon her. You know what I mean? So she was young, but just like he said, that culture back then, you know.
When it's polluted.
Okay, so a 13-year. I got problems with
Well,
that.
you gotta take into consideration our conditioning in this country.
Right, I
You know,
understand.
and our conditioning here is not always correct.
Right.
In terms of where we look at things.
Absolutely. They were prepared. These women in this country, these different countries, in Egypt and in the Middle East, they were prepared
For men.
to become women at
Right.
that age. They were properly trained. You had kings ruling countries at the age of 13. But look at the Pharaoh.
Right.
You know what
right.
I mean? I'm just saying, you know, look, they were prepared and they were conditioned.
Do you think men and women should go through women should go through women's training to be wives to men, and men should go through men's training to be husbands for women?
Absolutely. I absolutely do.
You
I
absolutely.
absolutely do. However, I think you more so need to be trained, if need be trained to be just a strong person, a strong individual, period. Not just to serve somebody else.
Right.
Besides the law, of course, but you know what I mean? You
Right.
need to be trained in condition to be a woman, trained in condition to be a man, because unfortunately us, you know, even though there's no culture in Islam, but us, you know, as dark skinned people, we just lack in that area. You know what I mean? Men need to be taught how to be men, women need to be taught how to be women.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm asking questions. Now I got a question for Brother Idris. I came through the Nation of Islam. I got my Islam through them. I was a 5%er and all that. You probably heard of them because you're from New Jersey, right?
My husband came through that, so I didn't.
Okay. Now I come through that, and I perceive that as something good because it did make me get away from criminal activity, gangster activity, try to be godly. Okay, so that was an initiation. In Orthodox Islam, they tell you don't be focused so much on identity, that Allah is one, the It's my understanding the law is one, and there is no difference in terms of the races and so forth. But I find coming through the racism of America, the United States, it is necessary for us to go back and restore our identity